Temno. Temenos. Hieron. Temenos.
Holy temple.
A place set apart.
I cut from the sky to the earth.
A land set apart.
Surrounded.
By the rivers,
the ditches,
The
stones.
All things inside. Surrounded.
by
the rivers.
Those prehistoric hinges, those hands that dug the soil, neolithic, piled it high. See how they lead us back to the beginning, to a community gathered in this ocean of time.
The Neolithic earthwork clearly influenced the location.
4 Bronze Age ring ditches with ring ditch. The barrow alignment developed from west to east.
An area of open grassland
Buttercups, clover, duckweed.
from which the midsummer sunrise would be visible.
the cremation burial of a man.
Place of ancestors.
Still under the infirmary building.
The past has its own mother, a land of Saxon time, of bones and ancient pottery.
Swakistakran huan, swakunigrangistas.
The more generous the household, the more noble the guests.
Alchus monis liefbith sumus monis la.
Every man's life is a lesson to someone.
Thus overe order, this is swame.
That passed away, so will this.
The ground beneath our feet will breathe, take on a name.
Nuotum sit omnibus, qui sunt et qui ventur.
Let it be known to all that I, Hugh de Plugenet, have granted to Ralph of St. Martin's the croft of the 3 barrows,
Croft de tribus Borges.
to be held by him and his heirs freely and peaceably.
Osani, item dictus.
Likewise, the said abbot holds a croft called Berrycroft,
Boricroft.
a gift from Dean William. Coggin's Piece was on the edge of open arable land in the parish of St Giles, with areas of gravel pits used by the parish for road repairs.
The echoes of the ancestors' whispers left traces of their knowledge on which we continue to build. Rise up from disturbed soil.
Haec autem ita fieri debent.
All buildings must be built with durability and beauty. Durability will be assured when foundations are carried down to the solid ground, and beauty when appearance is in due proportion according to correct principles of symmetry.
Andronicus of Kyrros built the marble octagonal tower in Athens. On the sides of the octagon, he executed reliefs representing the many winds, each facing the point from which it blows.
I, John Radcliffe, Doctor in Physic, do make my last will and testament in manner following, that my executors pay...
In his will, he devoted his acquisitions to the benefit of the University of Oxford. From them have proceeded the Radcliffe Library, the Radcliffe Observatory, and the Radcliffe Infirmary.
The infirmary is now offered to the public, upon whose voluntary subscription the extent of its use and service must entirely depend.
Wanted, an apothecary, well recommended for sobriety, honesty, and skill in his profession.
Wanted, a porter. Must be unmarried, and it is expected that they understand brewing. The late porter was dismissed for clandestinely conveying liquors into the different wards and for other misdemeanours.
Accept, we beseech thee, this charitable work of ours in separating this portion of ground.
On Thursday last, the Lord Bishop of Oxford consecrated the piece of ground set apart as an occasional burying place.
During our archaeological investigations, we discovered that there were 336 graves containing material from 388 individuals.
Rule number 60. That no woman big with child be admitted as inpatient. No child under 7 years of age. No one suspected to have the smallpox, habitual ulcers.
Rules were regularly broken. Osteological evidence includes patients with tuberculosis, syphilis, and children under 7.
Rule number 59, that 4 beds be reserved as a provision for accidents.
I was bitten through a lip by a dog. I was taken to the infirmary where my wound was cauterized. I'm now doing very well.
As John Darby was returning home, he fell from his horse and fractured his skull. He was taken to our infirmary and immediately trepanned and is now in a fair way of recovery.
Adolescent 3465, a probable male, exhibited a circular trepanation located immediately posterior to a linear fracture.
Sophia Tooley was admitted with severe laceration of her arm from a threshing machine. This patient's arm was amputated immediately on admission.
Number of amputations found: tibia 27, femur 21, fibula
Rule
15.
number 63. It is desired that subscribers recommending patients will take care that they are sent clean and free from vermin, and that they bring with them at the time of admission proper change of linen.
Nurse! Nurse!
The nurse in Lichfield ward complains that Mary Simmons has not had sufficient change of linen, and that the other patients are rendered uncomfortable on account of her being diseased with the itch.
Matron must be constantly resident in the house and watchful over the household in all departments. Any absence, amusement or recreation cannot be permitted.
Having been elected to the office of matron, I beg leave to express my grateful thanks for the honour conferred on me. It shall be my constant...
Miss Claribut had been matron for about 20 years when I arrived. She was a dear old lady, very, very conservative. She lived for her work and nothing else.
Your obedient, humble servant, Rose Potter Claribut.
The Radcliffe is the largest archaeologically excavated hospital burial assemblage from Britain. It reveals the reality of working lives, medical teaching, and hospital care during the 18th and 19th centuries. Without it, important evidence would be lost forever.
Remember this carved space we are now in. It takes 10 years to grow a tree, 100 to grow a people. What can you see looking out of your window? What seeds must we grow?
And now